Hey Grumps, how's it going? Merry Christmas, everyone. I wanted to do my video of favorite Christmas movies. I think we're all supposed to be doing this sometime between Thanksgiving and Christmas Day or Christmas season. I don't know. And I haven't even checked to see if anybody else has done one. But here's mine. So I think my all time favorite Christmas movie, and probably the only one that's any kind of a family tradition, is the 1951 version of A Christmas Carol, also known as Scrooge, starring Alistair Sim. Now, this used to play on TV almost every year when I was growing up, and I would sit there with my mom and my sister, and while my dad was out working, of course, because he worked 7 nights a week, which also included Christmas Eve, and then he'd go back on Christmas night, so that we could all sit home and watch TV. But yeah, I love this movie very much, and it still gets to me. It really gets to me. The part at the end, close to the end, where the Ghost of Christmas Past comes up and all dressed in black and puts his hand up like that, you know, gets to me still. So Christmas Carol. I don't think I've ever seen the remake with George C. Scott. I've never seen that. I don't know if there were other remakes. There's also a version from 1938, which I think I saw once and I just wasn't that crazy about. But this is the definitive version for me. All right, next up is a film that I didn't always love, but I always liked it, and it's grown on me in the last couple of years, and that's Miracle on 34th Street, which to me is all about Natalie Wood, who is one of the best child actresses ever, and I think that she's so natural and so appealing, and her reactions in this film to what happens is just break your heart, you know. Slipcase. Oh, sorry. Um, so Maureen O'Hara, John Payne, and it's John Payne, right? I think it is. And Edmund Gwenn as Kris Kringle. Great movie. Really great. Next up is a double feature. I have It's a Wonderful Life and White Christmas. And I'm showing you this because I'm a big fan of White Christmas. I don't watch it every year, but I always liked it. As far as It's a Wonderful Life, I'm not a member of the cult. I like it, but I've only seen it a couple of times, and I think I think it's growing on me. I like it more every time I see it, but I don't think of it as a favorite Christmas movie that I want to go back to every year. But I think I will probably learn to love it as I see it more often. I don't know. It's my sister's favorite movie for Christmas, and she gets all weepy when she talks about it. So, next up is one I didn't grow up with, but I discovered it a few years ago. Christmas in Connecticut. Barbara Stanwyck, Dennis Morgan, Sidney Greenstreet. Wow, great movie. Uh, Not sentimental, just very funny. And Stanwyck is at the top of her game. Okay, so yeah, that's a good one to watch. Some Christmas movies can make you feel kind of sad, lonely, and depressed. This is one that will cheer me up every time I watch it. So, and finally, I want to show you something a little bit different. This is a blank case, okay? And the reason why it's a blank case is because the movie in here is a bootleg, which I'm sure you're not going to be able to see that at all, which came in a sleeve, and I just put it in this plastic case. This is a movie from 1944. It's called Christmas Holiday, from Universal Pictures, directed by Robert Siodmak. And it's a very dark film noir starring Deanna Durbin, Gene Kelly, and Gail Sondergaard. You would think those two stars being such musical talents that it might be a happy Christmas musical, but it's not. It's a very dark story based on either a novel or a short story by W. Somerset Maugham, which should give you some indication. And they changed quite a bit from the story to the film because there are a lot of things they just couldn't talk about in 1944. But anyway, Deanna Durbin plays a lovely young woman who is totally innocent, and she meets and falls in love with this very charming, handsome guy played by Gene Kelly. And they go to live with his mother, played by Gail Sondergaard, which is kind of a red flag there. But very, very soon after the marriage, she finds out that this man she married has a lot of flaws. He ends up committing a crime, getting sent to prison. She goes to work in a nightclub slash brothel outside of New Orleans. And of course, in the novel, it's actually a brothel, and she's working as a prostitute. I think. I've never read the story, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. In the film, of course, in the 1940s, they just couldn't show this kind of thing on the screen, so they had to change it to nightclub and with a little bit of shady stuff in the background that you might think is indicating something else. And she is a singer in the nightclub. What else her job description might be is not clear, but it's a very beautiful story. Well, no, it's not a beautiful story. It's a good story. It's a solid story, and I think that it probably deserves, well, it deserves to have some sort of a DVD or Blu-ray release, because it's only available now on bootlegs, and I think you can actually find it on YouTube. So if you're curious about it, but most of the action takes place on Christmas Eve, and there's a beautiful sequence where this young woman, Deanna Durbin, goes with another man she meets in the nightclub to a midnight mass at the St. Louis Cathedral in New Orleans, which is where it takes place. Of course, the film was made in California, so the mass is at the cathedral in Los Angeles, but it shows this beautiful sequence of the way the mass used to look back in the 1940s. And Deanna Durbin does sing a couple of songs, which is always, she's just got a phenomenal singing voice, so that's always a treat. And it's a very good film. It's worth seeing. So anyway, those are my Christmas movies to share with you. I hope everybody has a terrific holiday, no matter what you're doing, where you're going, if you're just staying home. I'm not always a big fan of holidays. I tend to get, seasonal blues and all that. But this year I'm feeling pretty good, so I'm gonna go put on my Uncle Mike hat and be around the kids and all that sort of thing. So anyway, I wish you guys a lot of happiness, and I hope you get everything that you asked Santa Claus for. And I'm looking forward to all of your videos. So I will see you soon.